was wondering if you could begin by explaining what I call the Heddle system is, and
That's a good name.
and why you felt it was needed to bring your EAL work together as a whole school approach.
Really, it's a framework or a roadmap. What do you need to do first? What comes next? What comes after that? Just to bring a bit of calmness and order. A lot of it's built on our own work, our own research, but it's been road tested and frankly, greatly improved um, in the dozens and dozens of schools that we've trialed it in. And I think that more than anything is our big contribution this year. It's going to be available to everyone, and it'll just show you wherever you are in the EL provision you have in school, whether you've got something really, really strong and you're ready to share it with others, whether you're just getting to grips with maybe new bilingual pupils, it'll just give you a sense of, right, this is what we're doing, these are our priorities, this we can leave for now, and this is what we do next.
That feeds really nicely into my next question. I mean, what do you
Mm,
see as the key strands or components
yeah.
of an effective whole school EAL provision, and how does your system help hold this or them together?
So I think there's two ways of looking at it. And that's if you're working in a single school or in a group of schools. So um, if you're a teacher, leader, EL specialist in a school, the first thing I'd be looking at is what's the core expectations you have of every member of staff? So we start with our big three is if you're completely new and you've got no idea what to do with a bilingual child, we say pause, prioritize vocabulary, prioritize oracy. You can go so far just by slowing that stream of speech, giving space for pupils to think and catch up and process the language because it's just it washes over you otherwise. Anytime we're promoting vocabulary learning, we're supporting all learners. Anytime we're giving opportunities for oracy, um, simple as think Pesha, that's going to do a huge amount for bilingual children and for all children. And it's no mistake, obviously, that those overlap hugely with what people are doing already. It's meant to be familiar. So first thing I'd say is there, and it could be as simple as pausing vocabulary and oracy. Is there a core expectation that is for every teacher in the school? Because you can always build on it. And if that's already in place, then you can look at putting new things in. And it can be a rolling process. The other thing I'd really think about is what happens when a pupil arrives. So we've built our what we call our onboarding tool, and we're deliberately using that phrase to separate from what we already do for induction. Um, do we capture the right information? Does it reach the right people? So we're going to in January. I think it's going to come out in December, isn't it? In January, we'll be releasing our onboarding tool, simple digital questionnaire, but it will automatically um, once you just take the people through that kind of arrival questionnaire, what language you speak at home, brothers and sisters, have been to school before, it will automatically send tailored advice to their teacher. And that means that before a pupil arrives, you know that the person whose class they're arriving in has a bit of confidence. They've got an opportunity to get to know them. They know where to begin with them. So making that arrival really good, the welcome really strong, making sure there's some good strategies in the classroom already. And then we can go from there. Assessment is a huge one. Make a decision about withdrawal. Um, you know, when do pupils need support out of class and so on? These are all questions that have been asked before and been tackled. We can just take them systematically. If you're in a group of schools, so if you have a MAT leadership role, two things I'd look at. Number one is funding. And MATs are hugely underclaiming for EL funding. In fact, many MAT leaders don't even know that there's specialist EL funding available. So we did deep dive with one group of schools, and they found 25 grand across 5 schools just in funding that was sitting on the table. Um, and that's money that you can put straight back into the classroom. So first of all, I get the resources in where we could. And of course, if you're not sure, give us a call. We'll show you how to do it. The other thing I've been looking at is what's my expectation of school to school support? Because we tend to think about EAL as being the one person's responsibility. We might be able to get it across a school, but the real benefit in a multi academy trust is for schools to support each other. And For that, you need to have some shared vocabulary, some shared planning for the training. That's why we built this Heddle system, is so you can see where you are. But if you have say, a director of education, director of primary, secondary, you can also see where everyone is. And that means where you've got a strength in one place, it can support another school and vice versa. So I think we finally now have, number one, ways of making sure the money is reaching the classroom. And number two, ways of seeing how schools can support each other with the EAL, which we've really been missing.